আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL Soccer Night.
Welcome back live on NTV. It's the ILFL Soccer Night show, and as you heard from Statsman Nanu, we're going to talk about the Vets League. The Vets League that's sponsored by Hawk and Eagle. It's the ILFL Shanali Otis Veterans League. There are 14 teams taking part this season, this Winter League season. 7 in the Prem, 7 in the new First Division. Let's look at your old favourites that are taking part in Thursday's fixtures. Yes, this Thursday, 8th of January, are the first fixtures in the league, indeed in the Premier Division. And here on your screen right now are your first 3 fixtures in that Premier Division. They are the London Tigers Vets versus Abahani. You've got Sire Vets versus St Catherine's, and Tower Hamlets versus the Beaumont Masters. Your old favourites are there. We'll talk about those in a second. But then when we move on to the First Division, this is who we've got. We've got the Redbridge Vets versus Weavers, Riverside versus Mostyn, and Stepney Legends versus Bondu Vets. So where are we going to start with all of that? Rashid, let's talk about the First Division. Let's get to grips with... okay, let me put the pressure on straight away. Stepney Legends, a name that we've bandied around for the last couple of years. When are they going to put a team in? Are they going to have a team? Here they are. Are they title favourites already for that division?
I think the pressure will be on Stepney Legends because a lot of them are just qualified, fresh 35-year-olds, so to speak, and they have the quality in terms of players. Some of them still play Sunday leagues, and they're renowned in terms of championship and how much they won competition, etc. So I think they are on paper favourites to take their First Division, but I think only team that will compete there is Weavers, because Weavers we've seen last few seasons, they're a good side, they train well, they always give a good turn out when they competition when they turn up to play. But yes, the Stepney is the team I think we're ever looking forward to see them on the pitch and see how they perform.
The first game is against Bondu Vets. Nana, what do we know about Bondu?
Not a lot. I know that some of the Bondu players played for CAG, and as we know, CAG were a really good, decent
They
side.
did really well.
They did really well, especially in the debut season. So I'm looking at some sort of a clash between Stepney and Bondu, and I don't see any clear winners. And I'll tell you why. I know Stepney on paper they look very good, but it is the first season, and a lot of players played for different teams, and they haven't played for a team as a team. So I think there's going to be hurdles for Stepney. It will take 2 or 3 games for them to get a grip of things, and luckily for them this season there's home and away game, so when they make mistakes, a team like Stepney should be able to rectify their mistakes quite quickly. So the opportunity is there is for Stepney to take, but who knows.
What about the other teams in that division? We've got Redbridge, Riverside, Mostyn, who have come in. What do we know about the other teams?
Redbridge is also a fairly new team. A lot of players have played in the Veterans League and decided to form their own team as well, so that they can get some of the game time, which is very good. Mostyn is another team that I want to talk about. Their players have played before our time. That's me, Rash, and Camrose, maybe even David and Ferric by you as well.
Thank you.
We want to see some of that flavour. We want to see how those boys played, and the way they've played for 20-30 years, I don't think much has changed for them. I mean, we're kind of new generation in the Veterans League, and we kind of continue from where we left off in the Sunday League and have this similar sort of skill set, whereas those boys have played years back, and we want to see some of that flavour in there. And I think they're going to make a mess out of some of our teams, some of the new teams, some of the new sort of vets.
That would be interesting to see. We look at the Premier Division, Rush, and the old names, but we're still looking forward to some exciting football.
I think this year, I think St Catherine's will be a dark horse, considering how they played end of last season. They surprised a lot of teams. Obviously, your favourites will be London Tigers, Tower Hamlets, and maybe also Abahani. But I think I'm looking forward to St Catherine's Vets because I think they surprised a lot of the teams. Would like Sire and Bowman, they want to finish 3rd, 4th, 5th. I think that's what they're targeting for. But St Catherine's is a team I'm looking forward to see how they compete this season. I think they're looking to challenge the top 3. So that'll be interesting to see how they compete. But on paper, Tower Hamlets and London Tigers, I think, are the favourite twos to go 1st and 2nd.
I don't want to throw a spanner in the works, and I don't want to upset our good friends over there in West London, but cameras, wouldn't it be interesting if Tigers didn't get 3 points out of their first game and they were winners everywhere else, and Tigers had to chase it as they've had to do last season?
We know, David, from experience and from the past, that Tigers are very strong finishers. So it's imperative that they get a good start, which will complement their good finish.
Abahani, is that kind of team that could, you know, throw a spanner in the works for them?
They can. They beat them last season, didn't they? And Abahani this year have strengthened up as well. They're a lot stronger this year than last year. I think that's probably the strongest fixture we will see in quite a few weeks.
Really?
It's a challenge, yeah. It's a challenge for Tigers.
Tigers v Abahani, Rash.
I think Tigers will just have I think Abahani are a good side, but for me, still Tablets and London Tigers are still the benchmark teams to compete.
And the two teams that are not taking part in the first games, we have a Tower Hamlets Vets B team. I don't know, make of that what you will. Let's hope see if they're anything like their B side on a Sunday. And who's missing? And we've got
Bromley Legends.
Bromley Legends missing from the premise. So are they going to strengthen? A little bit disappointing again, Bromley again last time round, weren't they?
They had a brilliant start. It's just the last 3 weeks they just couldn't. They lost the plot. I think nerves, pressure, they just couldn't handle it because they haven't been there before. Whereas likes of Tower Hamlets and Tigers been there in and out last few years. I think that's why. So hopefully the experience will count this year and they can sustain that and finish off like they started off last season. So,
London Tigers for everybody, Premier Division champions, Nanu?
They haven't won it yet. So
they haven't won it yet, and I think this is the fuel that they will really need. Is that, you know, this is the 4th season of the Veterans League, and they have to win it. I mean, Tigers go to competitions to win, you know, and this is the only competition that they haven't won yet. And I don't see them giving up that easily. As Kamruz mentioned earlier, it's those first few games, you know, Tigers, they always seem to stutter in the beginning, and at the end they're pretty, you know, rock solid. So let's see how it goes. And they're quick learners as well. And this is a really good opportunity for them as well, because you've got home and away games as well. So if they made 1 or 2 mistakes in the first round, they can always improve in the second round, you know, when they meet up again. So it has to be year of the Tigers, I have to say. But then again, you know, I mean, do not underestimate Nurul with Tower Hamlets. You don't know what he's got in store. You know, he's full of surprises as well. So if he strengthens his team, then you know, it's going to go to the next level, and it's really difficult to say. End of the day, there's 2 teams that I think are going to battle it out, is Tower Hamlets and Tigers.
You know what, I'm going to go with Rashid, and I'm going to say something good about St Catherine's. I thought they were one of the teams that did impress me from what I saw, and I think that if they can add 1 or 2 players to what they've got, I think they can be quite a dangerous team. I like St Catherine's. I'm not going to start a fight with you. I'll leave that between you and Rash, because that's what you guys like to do each week. Cameras, for you?
It's going to be quite difficult to discount the current champions who have won it twice in a row. Regardless of how strong Tigers are and how strong they finish, you know, you've got to give credit where credit's due. And one of the reasons why these 2 teams are doing so well and always at the top and competing is because they've got the same core players and the same manager. If you look at the other teams, Bromley have, this season they've got the 3rd manager in 3 years. Okay, I'm sure Beaumont have changed managers, Sire have changed managers, St Catherine's has changed managers, Abahani, I'm not sure if they've changed managers, but see, there's no consistency in most of the teams. And Tigers and Tower Hamlets have the same core players and the same manager, which obviously helps and goes a long way. I think St Catherine's will be a dark horse, like Rashid says. Bromley will be there and thereabouts. Beaumont, we don't know. That's another team that's been underachieving.
I deliberately didn't say anything about that, but you know, I'm going to move it along the line, and I'm going to say, why is nobody talking about Tower Hamlets? Impressive team. Gave London Tigers a complete run for their money last season. We all watched the game where they clinched the title. Why is nobody talking about Tower Hamlets?
It's probably just one of the name Tower Hamlets, because in football we've known a household name like Bowman, Poplar, Shadwell and St Catherine, Sire, things like that, London Tigers. But Tower Hamlets, something, whenever I say about Tower Hamlets, I always say Bethnal Green rather than Tower Hamlets, and they'll always rectify me, oh, we used to be Bethnal. So it's probably one of these things. This is why probably, you know, like, not that easily do comes, you know, Tower Hamlets on everyone's mind and heart. But about the what you guys are saying about the favourite and who's going to win or whatever. But I think, to be honest, I'm a big fan of London Tigers. The reason why I say this is their first team, basically. If they can fulfill their first team, if they have these consistent players, you know, like coming every week, you know, then it's very difficult to, you know, like cope with that this particular team. But yes, what I've seen from many other competition about London Tigers, you know, they can, you know, fulfill every time with the same rotation, you know, the players basically. It's always up and down. Sometimes, you know, they can't even, you know, get 7, 8, 6 players in on the field, you know. So that's a shame. But I love to see, you know, like they're more serious this time, come, you know, like fulfilling and give us a better competition. And obviously, in the way now I say it, they're the favourite. They should really win. But it's a shame they haven't won this tournament, Peter. What Nana says, you know, they've won everything, but not this one.
Not this one, because the competition is so tough, as you've heard us say every single season, year on year. The Vets League, it has established itself truly as one of the toughest competitions to win. Good luck to all of you as you go and take part in 2-3 days. It's at the home of Vets football, we might as well say now. Mabley Green on Thursday. Get yourselves down there for your first game. Just like any tournament, the first game is always important. But you've always got a chance. Home and away, as Nanu said, you can always redeem yourself if you don't get off to a great start. And as Tigers have always shown, it's not about what happens at the beginning, it's where you finish at the end. Good luck to all of the teams. Stepney, the pressure's been put on you. Tigers, the pressure's been put on you, and for everyone else playing catch up, good luck to you as well. There is more football, like we said, taking place this week. Sunday, weather permitting, we return back to league football as well as the cup tournament. It's the League Cup sponsored by Tower Hamlets Homes, which takes place this weekend, and we've got the league football from first and second division taking place as well this week. We're gonna preview all of that, first, second division and your League Cup, right after this break when we come back on the ILFL Soccer Night show. See you shortly.
আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL Soccer Night.